My high school friends had begun to suspect I hadn't told them the full story of my life. Why did you leave Sierra Leone? Because there's a war. Didn't you witness some of the fighting? Everyone in the country did. You mean you saw people running around with guns and shooting each other? Yes, all the time. Cool. I smile a little. You should tell us about it sometime. Yes, sometime. Ishmael Bill wrote his memoir, A Long Way Gone, for this exact reason. Because when he first came to America, he encountered many people who had very little understanding of the true violence and suffering a child soldier went to. The opener is able to grab the reader's attention, and Ishmael Bill is able to tell what truly happens in war to a child soldier. Ishmael Bill was born in Sierra Leone in 1980. He moved to the United States in 1998. He also was the head of Ismail Beale Foundation, which is dedicated to helping former children soldiers reintegrate into society. A Long Way Gone was nominated for the Quill Award in the Best Duet Author category for 2006 and was nominated National Bestseller. Beale's time as a child soldier during the Civil War in Sierra Leone in the 1990s. Beale ran away from his village at the age of 12 after it had been attacked by rebels, and he became forever separated from his immediate family. Ishmael Bill was forced to join an army who brainwashed him into using guns and drugs. By the age of 13, he had witnessed a great deal of violence. He had seen very gruesome things. Violence had become a daily thing in Ishmael's life. Survival on a day-to-day basis was the only thing on Ishmael's mind. The boy soldiers, along with Ishmael, had become addicted to cocaine and marijuana, which gave them the courage to fight and the ability to repress their emotions in times of war and deal with so much violence. Ishmael continued to fight fiercely until his lieutenant turned the boys over to the United Nations Children's Fund. Ishmael is taken to a rehabilitation center where he struggles to understand his past and to imagine a future. The love and compassion he finds at the center from the nurse named Esther opens up an understanding and forgiveness within himself. Ishmael is invited to New York City to tell his story to the United Nations. He learns that others like him have suffered and witnessed such violence. He meets Lauren Simmons, a storyteller, and his future foster mom, and sees the importance of sharing his experience with the world in hopes of preventing this from happening to other children. After Ishmael returns to Sierra Leone, a couple of military people from war Ishmael has been avoiding catches up with him. After his uncle's death, Ishmael flees from Sierra Leone to the neighboring Guinea and eventually makes his way to his new life in the United States. Through the use of diction and symbols, Beale is able to use his perspective on the power of his gun and show the transformation he is able to make. The use of diction in It Will Protect You and Provide You All You Need if you know how to use it. It's talking about Beale's gun. Beale is able to use descriptive diction when talking about the gun as a symbol of power and violence. And in order for Beale to survive, he needs the gun. And it brings back to the idea of loss of innocence. As a child soldier, you have to carry around a gun and kill. Through the use of descriptive diction, words such as beating, swollen, and looked in their faces of prisoners as we took them out of this world creates the idea of such harsh use in this book. The central idea of violence and how guns foreshadow the killing that comes back to the idea of loss of innocence again. Diction creates Beale's understanding of the violence in war. The central idea of this passage is to show that Beale acknowledges the fact that the rebels' violence has forced himself and other children to resort to survival tactics. In this quote, it says, things change rapidly in a matter of seconds and no one had any control over it. These young child soldiers had no control over what was happening. A Long Way Gone by Ishmael Beale is truly an outstanding book, and I enjoyed reading this memoir because it gave me a different perspective on a child soldier. Through the themes of violence and loss of innocence, Ismail is able to create the idea of how he felt during the time of the war.